Hi, in this video I will talk about quality checks of fastq files, and the first program for sure is fastqc. It is available on the Baybram Bioinformatics website. Note that it's not Babraham but Baybram, it's like Chester, Leicester and Manchester. It's pretty nice site. You will find a link to the detailed explanation how it will analyze any given fastq file, and examples of good and bad Illumina data. The way how it looks is the following. It is an HTML page made of a series of colorful illustrations. You open one of your files and it will tell you first some basic information about your file. What's the name? What's the type, how many sequences, how many bases, GC, and then it will show you the plot of average quality from the beginning to the end of the sequences. This scale is a Phred score, and the Phred score, according to Wikipedia, is derived from this formula. This is the score you usually read on the scale, 30, 40, 50, 60. So everything above 30 is very good score. It means 99.9% accuracy, or in other words, the error is 1 in 1,000 or less. This is the picture which in the bad case scenario shows some scratches and defects of your flow cell in Illumina machine or other machine, which means that something is not exactly good. Ask technician and maybe they can fix it, but when it is empty it means it's alright. Then again another picture of the quality score. It's a histogram which says that the great majority of the qualities are 37, which is above 30 is certainly good, and the very small part are somewhat less quality, but it's not concerning at all. Now this picture is about sequence content of all your sequences altogether, summarized and averaged. You see the G, which is a somewhat faint yellowish greenish line, is lower, which is a bit strange, but for the rest it's okay. Then again, per sequence GC content, it's another histogram saying that on average GC is a little less than 50, it's 47, and then theoretically the blue line predicts how was the deviation from the average should be and what it really is, and there is no big difference, so it's okay again. This figure shows a frequency of unidentified bases, and when it's empty it's a good news. Now the length of the sequences on average is 40, and in case of Illumina it's fixed, nothing to watch. Duplication is a little bit confusing word because we don't talk about mapping yet, it's just a sequence. It means a number of identical sequences in the set, and there is some number, but 94.81% of sequences are unique, also good. And adapters, sometimes you sequence the reverse primer of Illumina or this RNA adapters and something else. In this particular case, nothing to worry, it's all clean. And of course, if you take a bad case scenario, then you see that the quality can decline dramatically and the Phred score is so poor that there is no way of using it. And there are massive scratches on the glass which has to be fixed, and there are way too many sequences of poor quality, and the GC content and all bases is wobbling all around. Here it is reasonable, but still quite a deviation from expected. The length is 40, nothing changed. but overrepresented sequences now lots and lots of something weird, and there is a little bit of universal adapter. So that's the example of the bad qualities. If you will ever see such data in your real life, do not waste your time, reject it immediately. Before you install fastqc program, you have to know a few things. It is available in Windows, Linux and Mac OS as a download file. It requires Java, so make sure Java is installed. And there is alternative installation for Linux calling apt install or apt get install. And brew is a sort of a depository analogous to apt or apt get, where you can also call brew install fastqc if you are in Mac OS. Here is a link to a download. When download is complete, then you double click on this DMG and then you see that it's actually fastqc app ready to use. You can move it to a desktop, for instance, and then you double click on the icon, and in your settings, in privacy and security, you will see this line fastqc app was blocked to protect your Mac, and then you have to say open anyway, and then you do what you are asked to do. Then this front page will appear, which is not very explicitly asking you to open file. You have to do it on your top menu. And now I am in my favorite place where I previously downloaded these 4 files from the project I showed you before. And then I open the first sequence over here. And what program does, it basically reads all the sequencing lines and all the quality lines, and then creates a summary of all this stuff. It takes some time. Okay, it took me a minute, and you see that it opens a GZ compress file. That's the format. Total number of sequences 20 million. The sequence length is unusually a big 302 GC49. It's a human. As we were instructed, we can now check what's the quality. Pretty good. Above 30. It's nearly everything, only a few sequences are below. There are some scratches in this sequencing cell, but not that many. Per sequence quality 36, Fred score is very good. Don't be afraid of this. It is a augmentation effect. Inserting sequencing primers into the cDNA by augmentation causes these bumps in the first 9 positions. And this bump in the middle feels like 2 sequences of 150 lengths were merged together, and so these are both ends of it. Whether I'm right or wrong, we can go to the original documentation to run selector with those 4 files at the bottom. That's 83 we are looking right now, and if you look into it and then go to the data access, then we see that originally it had 2 paired sequences, and my understanding is that they merged those paired ends into one, and this is what you download later on as one file. And that's why it is bigger in size and bigger in length. The original size length was 150. Okay, this mystery seems to be solved, why it is so suddenly in the middle. And second run of paired end is usually worse by quality, so it is. Expected to predicted GC is nearly perfect, no problem. And frequency of unreadable bases is so low that nothing to look at. The length 302 and the rest is nothing. Duplication of sequences, there is some, not very good. Overrepresented sequences, although, are absent. And then out of adapters, authors a sequence bit of Illumina universal adapter and small RNA 5' adapter and poly G and poly A, which happens, why not, but overall I would say I'm pretty satisfied with this. And now at the end you can choose the option Save Report before you exit fastqc, and I would say why not, I save it. Actually you better create a new folder out of it saying QC, and then you save it. You will have this HTML page and a zip file which contains all the figures, etc. And if you click on HTML file, then you will have this nice report with the date, with the file name, and you don't need to run fastqc all over again. This was a story how you use fastqc program if you download it. And now I will tell you what if you use Brew to install fastqc in macOS. First of all, you have to know whether you have this Brew on your computer. I have it, so it responds on what I ask. If you don't have it, I recommend to install it. And the way how to install it, you ask for Homebrew web page, and then you copy paste this line, and then go to a command line, and then paste it here, but then you push enter and it will be installed. fastqc is also added to the collection of a Homebrew, and therefore when you say brew install fastqc, then you will see line auto updating Homebrew, then some report on updates, and then you see the installation of fastqc. The next step is how do you use fastqc from online and why. You notice that the whole point of using a fastqc program is generating a report, and you can do it from command line. And what is even more useful, you can generate this report for multiple files. Let's go to my favorite directory, and then I say open in terminal this directory, and then I say ls everything with gz at the end, and then I can copy all these 4 file names, copy, and then I say fastqc, paste. Now I have to fight with these tabulations, everything separated with the spaces. And if you push it now, then all reports will be generated in the same directory. If you don't like it, you can say -o and then say where you want it. For instance, I can say documents. And now, do not forget to add /, then push. Alright, and then you see that it is working, and you can see the progress in terminal, and when one file is finished, it will automatically take the next one. And after a couple of minutes, maybe 10 minutes, the job is finished, analysis complete, and then you go to QC where you wanted all the data, and then you see that all the fastqc reports are here. You can open any of them and look at it. Today we learned that fastqc can be run by everybody. It's very easy program with a very understandable output. Then if you detect bad files, reject them immediately. Do not waste your time. And the third element is that fastqc can be run for multiple files in one push of a button from command line in terminal, and it will generate all the reports in a dedicated directory. So far so good, and thanks for being here.